Welcome everybody to World of Tanks replays. My name is Maxwell, and today's first replay is from the user Lurt. That is Lurt, and he's driving the Tiger 1 on a standard battle on the Abbey. Tiger 1 is a tier 7 heavy tank for the Germans. Was an absolute beast in the actual World War II. Not so much in World of Tanks, considering that the tanks that it would normally face in the era were the Shermans, so around about tier 4, 5 and 6. It's obviously a tier 7 heavy tank, so if it only fought what it did historically, it would probably just munch absolutely everything. But the tank has received a couple of buffs over time, some passive, some direct, like the cannon has received some pretty nice buffs to its DPM. As you can see now, it's only got a 5.5 second reload. If we just take a very quick look at its damage and penetration, damage of 240, penetration of 203, which is very, very nice for a tier 7 tank. In fact, the penetration of 203 is a whole 2mm more than the T-54's standard ammunition. So this gun is a bit of a beast at its tier, especially with the reload. This thing's able to pump down a ridiculous amount of fire without... can really catch people off guard, because normally around about this tier with a heavy tank you're looking at between 8 and 11 seconds for a reload. So if you're firing every 5.5 seconds, you can really catch people off guard. Finds a VK3601 there, taken a little bit by surprise. That one just flies over his head there, but has the reload to get a second shot on target, as you saw. And then IS-6 comes in to offer some support. This thing's pretty good hull down as well, just thanks to the size of its gun mantlet and its supreme gun depression. Going to be continuing on up now, see if we can get a shot on this KV-85. Has been spotted out now, so going to have to advance forward just to keep that rock between himself and the Abbey in the centre there. Going to be offering some help to this IS-6, who is squaring off against two tier 6 tanks here, and hasn't taken any damage yet, but seems incapable of causing any damage in return. Takes a shot from the M6 here. Looks like both of these guys have pretty small caliber weapons. Neither of them got the 88mm or the 90mm here, so this may prove to be a fairly easy fight. Armor on the Tiger not notoriously good, but M6 having a very difficult time penetrating him anyway, putting shots into his side armor, and Lurt's just punishing this guy, putting shot after shot into him. And there we go, the IS-6 comes in to get the finisher. And that is this flank all but won now. But as you can see by the map, the enemy team is pushing heavily on that right-hand side and through the centre. Got a Centurion 1 now caught in no man's land. He's screwed. A little bit of server reticule lag there. Just screwing up Lurt's shot, and he hits the IS-6 in the rear. Luckily the IS-6 hit the Centurion 1 to take him out. And it is now time to head back to the base. As you can see, enemy tanks pushing very heavily on that right-hand side, and now making a move through the centre. Lurt just having a quick shot into the middle there to see if he can hit somebody as he goes. Going to have a quick stop to see if he can take out the AMX-12T or the Comet, but it looks like both of them are safely hidden behind rocks here. Going to continue to advance forward. Just going to have another look towards the centre as this Comet looks like he wants to poke out, but there we go. That is the centre 1 for the enemy team. Gets a lovely shot on that Comet to take him out and pick up his kill number 2 now. So the enemy team look like they're a little reluctant to start this base capture now. They've absolutely pushed the allied team all the way back to the base now and obliterated them on that right-hand side, but they still haven't started a base capture. Winning this one currently at 8 kills to 11. And there we go, the last defender falls in the form of that KV-85 taken out by the T-29. And now the enemy team starts that base capture off, but the IS-6 is almost back into base now, and he's almost full health, as is Lurt here, as they had a very nice easy time overrunning the guys on this left-hand side. It's a lovely shot through the side of the Jagdtiger 88. Just having a look to see if you can see anything on that T-29. Jagdtiger 88 is tunnel visioning for the IS-6 here, and that's going to prove to be his downfall as Lurt takes him out for kill number 3. Still can't quite find anything on this T29. Having a little bit of a look. There we go. Gets a beautiful shot on him to take him out. And that just leaves a Cromwell at the other side of the base. He can be seen. That's a little bit of a difficult shot. Just allowing his cannon to aim all the way in. Still not quite able to land a shot there. Gets spotted out by a KV-85 in a very curious position under the hill here. Not really sure what he's doing. The Lorraine 155 takes out the IS-6. KV-85 looks like he's trying to do some mountaineering. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the gun depression, but Lurt does, and he takes him out. Now he's going to have to push on towards the base to see if there's anybody else in there. But to be honest, the last time everyone was spotted was that Dickermax on the right-hand side, the AMX-12T in the centre. And now you can see the Lorraine 155 all the way back at base at AT8. Continue to push on. But it looks like he may be in trouble now. He's got artillery in front of him and an AMX-12T behind him. And he's probably going to be getting shot to bits right about now. And indeed he has. He gets taken down by the artillery. And now it is Lurt in his Tiger 1 versus 3 enemy tanks in the form of that Lorraine 155-50, the Dickermax, and this AMX-12T. Going to be having a look across towards the Abbey to see if he can see anybody now. To be honest, with 3 tanks left on the enemy team, they are much more likely to attack now than defend. So he's going to have to find himself a good defensive position. Gets himself behind this rock, and we're just going to speed this one up a little bit till we get back into the action. Just setting himself up in a bush in order to keep eyes on the road there to see if anybody comes down. Just keeping an eye. Spots the AMX-12T in the centre, takes him out with a beautiful shot. Gets spotted now by somebody. Don't know if it's going to be that Dickermax or that Lorraine. Probably going to be the Dickermax. Takes a heat shell that sounded like in the side. Or it may have been HE. Not really sure why the Dickermax would have HE loaded. But he did. Maybe it was from battling with that AT-8 earlier. Now this is looking a lot more even at 13 kills to 14. Lurt still got 1,200 hit points versus a Dickermax and a Lorraine. The Dickermax not very well armoured at all. Does have decent DPM and has very, very good camo considering it's a premium tank destroyer. And they didn't receive the same nerfs to camo rating that regular tank destroyers did a couple of patches back. So Lurt saw which direction the shot came from, which was down that road there. So he's going to be taking a flanking manoeuvre all the way around this left-hand road. And then he's going to be cutting up this little rise to the right-hand side here. Hopefully by this point, the Dickermax will have advanced a little bit further up the road. And Lurt can catch them off guard, maybe get the side or even possibly the rear armour, depending how far up the Dickermax has pushed. Nope, he's only pushed up a little bit up that road, but still, it is enough. Lurt gets a great shot through his armour. Couple more shots should be enough to take him out. There we go. Can't afford to stop moving those. That Lorraine is proving to be pretty damn deadly, but a 5.5 second reload means that he can just hit him a few times and then continue to move, which indeed he does. Picks up the Dickermax for kill number 7. Now he's going to push down this line here and try and find the Lorraine 155, if indeed he is still alive. May still be behind the base camping. Going to go and have a quick look at his last known position. Don't want to put yourself too much out in the open, as something like the Lorraine will just blow your face off if they catch you unawares. Doesn't look like he is in the same position that he was earlier, or any other position around here by the looks of it. Nope, not seeing the Lorraine. So probably best to go for the base capture now. Oh, and there we go. The Lorraine 155 shows up in the other base. And he has probably enough of a cap advantage to make this one a loss if Lurt continues just to cap this one out. So decides to go steaming out of the cap circle. And he's going to drive. Just had a little pause there just in case the Lorraine decided to come out of the cap circle. The Lorraine having a speculative shot there. Lurt's going to have to play this one carefully. He does still have 1,200 hit points, so he probably can take at least one shot from this Lorraine. but he does have absolutely fantastic gun depression, although the Lorraine has top-down view. He gets one great shot through the Lorraine, just going to charge him down as he knows he's got the hit points. Lorraine has a shot, and that one missed, and that's going to be all she wrote, and that is GG. 8 kills, 3,500 damage, coming up big with the win in the end for his team. Showing great map awareness and positional play there from Lurt, knowing exactly when to flank around to the sides of his enemies and knowing where they are most likely to be so they can take advantage of their positioning. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, to stick around because, as always, there is another game coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user Waffleman. That is Waffleman, and he's driving the T20 on an encounter battle on the steppes. T20 being a tier 7 medium tank for the Americans. One of my favourite medium tanks of all time. Really enjoyed playing the T20 back when I owned this little tank. It was a bit of a shame to see the back of it when I traded it in for the Pershing, as the Pershing is nowhere near as fun to drive as this little thing is. On paper, it doesn't particularly jump out or strike you in any particular way. It has a decent hit point pool, good speed, maneuverability, and agility. A half-decent cannon, although the reload can be a little bit long. Although for tier 7, 9 seconds isn't particularly long that you have to worry about it. But still, all in all, I found this tank to be absolutely excellent. So, Waffleman going to be dallying in the centre for a while, trying to decide which flank to take to. Hasn't quite made his mind up yet. He's going to be heading over to the right-hand side to support the cap circle, but spots out a couple of light tanks making a mad dash through the centre there. Gets a great hit through the side of the ELC. Now going to try and pick off the T37. Gets a great shot through the side of his armour as well. These light tanks are being ripped apart here. The T37 finally falls. ELC AMX making a run back to his own cap circle straight up the road. Waffleman going to try and get to some high ground to see if he can pick him off, but it looks like he is going to get away scot-free. Quite a lot, having a blind shot there just in case, as he, on the route that he would have made his way back into his own cap circle there, or his own spawn location. Just going to hang out in the centre for a while just to see if anybody shows their face like those light tanks did, thinking that maybe the ELC might want to come back, considering that both other flanks are pretty heavily contested. And there we go, Waffleman's little bit of 6 cents paying off, as the ELC has indeed come back to the centre. Going to be making a move down the central path there, although he's only driven about halfway down, realised he's been spotted, and then probably turned round and left again. So we're going to be sitting here for a little while longer. There we go, the ELC makes an appearance straight up the centre, so Waffleman springs into action, chases him down, takes him out, and that is the light tanks eliminated for the enemy team there. So there we go. Game pretty evened out, 4 kills to 5, although we are only 3 minutes into it. As you can see, there is a lot of tank destroyers for the enemy team on that right-hand side. The allied team, in fact, only has that E25 tank destroyer, so they are a little bit outgunned right now. Waffleman going to be making his move straight up the centre now that there are no light tanks left. Spots KV-1, backs off after missing his first shot, but to be honest, he can probably take on a KV-1 head-on, no problem whatsoever. Didn't quite lead the target enough there, as he was leading the target nicely. Then as soon as he dipped into the fog of war, he tracked his gun the opposite direction, so that one missed. Gonna move forward using the rocks as cover. You can see the allies have started a base capture. They have only 35 seconds left on that clock now, as they are getting pushed pretty heavily on that right hand side. They're in fact getting pushed pretty heavily on the left hand side as well. Enemy team doing a fantastic job of overrunning the allies right now. Waffleman going to hopefully come out behind this KV-1 and going to be able to take advantage of that. Finds the KV-1 now. He's not as far forward as I expected him to be. Misses that first shot. KV-1 spots him. But to be honest, with the armour of the T20, he should be able to take on a KV-1 no problem whatsoever. Gets a second shot, but misses as well. He's being a little bit too cautious of the KV-1's gun, in my opinion. And the KV-1 is making a beeline for the cap circle to try and help with the defense here. But as you can see, there's only an allied KV-1 and then that Chaffee making a run for it. KV-1 still heading towards the cap circle, taking considerable damage now from Waffleman. Decides now to switch his attention across to that FV. Just got to wait for his reticule to close in. Gets a great shot. Leaves him with only 21 hit points now. Got to be careful though, because the FV does have a substantially quick reload speed. Gets him right in the face to immobilize him, but it's not enough as he takes him out. Enemy starting a base capture now, as there's only himself and this AMX-13 F3 left. And it is 8 kills to 13 at the moment. There are 7 enemy tanks and 2 allied tanks remaining, so this one is pretty much a foregone conclusion now. It's just going to be a case of get in towards the cap circle and cause as much damage as possible before your team goes down. If you're lucky, you might pick up a medal, and then you might pick up a little bit of decent experience. 3+ in the cap circle now, 45 seconds on the clock. Waffleman going to be making his way over, as is the artillery in a surprising move. Artillery going to be making a move towards the cap circle here. Not got very long left on the cap clock. Going to have to be really making a move now to get in there as quick as possible. You can just tell the enemy chat is going to be no cap kill all noobs. A call that they may come to regret, as the AMX-13F comes in from one side and Waffleman comes in from the other. Gets a great shot on this SU-152. Looks like the artillery hit him as well. Going to be aiming in on his rear armor. Gets another good shot. The AMX goes flying past the SU-152. Got to get one more shot on this SU to try and keep his artillery friend alive, which indeed he does. But it looks like the T-67 was enough to take him out. T-67 is obviously the renamed T-49 tank destroyer. But there is still quite a lot of enemy tanks in the cap circle now. Going to get this KV-1 from earlier. Gets a great shot on him after bouncing one in return. As you can see, KV-1's gun no match for the T20. Poke himself around the corner. This SU-85 looks like a one-shot as well. Just trying to work with his gun depression. Going to have to poke out a little bit further. Decides to shoot the T-67 instead to take him out. And that just leaves the SU-85 in the cap circle. There's an SU-100M1 flanking around. What a shot through the top there to take out the SU-85. Got to be aware there's also an SU-100 coming in, but it looks like everybody has nicely agreed to be on low health as they come in to try and take on the T20 of Waffleman. They've all decided just to be one-shots. Just got to keep an eye on this SU-100 and the SU-100M. The SU-100 fairly quick, as you can see. As he comes flying in, Waffleman decides that he's the biggest threat. Going to take him out for kill number 7. The SU-100M1 takes this opportunity to charge in, rams him, does a considerable amount of damage, but just one good shot is all it takes, and that's kill number 8. And that just leaves the VK-3601, wherever the hell he is, was last spotted on the number 1 line, but you can almost guarantee that he'll have been steaming in as well. Just not the fastest tank in the world. He's the only person who didn't get the memo about being on low health and being just a one-shot. He does get some damage onto Waffleman, but Waffleman is able to carousel around him now. He doesn't quite have the agility to make it all the way around, although there is that corpse in front of the VK-3601 hampering his ability to traverse on target. That is all it takes. That's kill number 9. 3,500 points of damage, GG, and the victory. So absolutely heroic play there from Waffleman in the T20. Like I said, picking up 9 kills, 3,500 points of damage. Dallied for a while in the centre there, not quite sure which flank to take to be honest. If he'd chosen either flank, he probably would have died 10 minutes ago. Well, maybe not 10 minutes ago, because the game's only been going for 9. But he probably would have died 6 or 7 minutes ago if he had committed to a flank earlier on. And as it was, he was able to sneak around behind the enemy tanks and take them out whilst all being on low health. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, please send that into replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Replays, and I will catch you guys next time.